I'm delighted to welcome Michael Simmons to the show. He's economics editor at The Spectator. Good morning to you, Michael.
Good morning.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Let's talk about pubs. We're either in a pub or we're talking about pubs on this show. Usual rules. But what sounds like there's going to be some good news later today from the Chancellor, Reeves, in terms of a bailout for pubs worth 300 million quid. What does it involve, and is that enough?
Yeah, well, it's probably not enough, but it's a step in the right direction. And the issue here is around the business rates that pubs and any businesses pay. And that rate that you pay, that tax, it's kind of like the business version of a council tax, is calculated based on various things, including the rent that you might pay for that building. And there's two issues that have happened at the same time here. One is that they were last calculated during lockdowns when things were cheaper. So they've had this kind of uprating, but also there was this COVID relief that was phased out. And it meant that some businesses were facing, over 100% increases. Some pubs were facing over 100% increases.
We're talking tens of thousands of pounds more. Just to be found out of thin air.
Yeah, absolutely. They would just have to squeeze out of the very little profits that they make, more likely from having to cut staff. And when you add it to the national insurance increases they've got, the minimum wage increases they've got, many pubs are saying we simply are just going to go out of business. So there's going to be some kind of relief today so that those rates don't go up as much, or perhaps the relief.
But again, as always with these things, it's only temporary, so we're going to be facing the same thing again. I discovered the other day that apparently the pubs that show football, which is a really big part, like getting people into the pub, and they don't pay the same rate as we would pay to get, the Sky package for the footy. They have rate because, they're going to have a load of people watching it. But the rate they pay is based on their business rates. So when their business rates go up, all these other costs go up as well.
Well, exactly. It just adds to everything. And it's interesting, you make the point about how this is temporary. I wonder if this will become something like we have with the fuel duty freeze, where every budget they say the fuel duty is about to be unfrozen, but it becomes politically impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible to do it. I just love the fact that when we spoke to the guy who started the campaign the other week, banning Labour MPs from pubs. I think that is probably one of the most genius campaigns that would actually, if you want to change the world, ban your local MP from the pub, and that will actually focus minds. But of course, there are some pubs they won't be able to be banned from because they won't exist anymore. We see numerous pubs going under, but the Revel collection, the Revolution bars, the Reveille bars, the beach pubs, they are looking at collapsing. 3,000 jobs at risk. I keep saying this about hospitality. When hospitality loses jobs, if it was a steelworks, if it was somewhere in one place and everyone's going, that warehouse or that factory is losing this many jobs, everyone would be up in arms. The government would be there with a bailout to help them out. But because these are jobs that, 20 here, 100 there, 30 there, it's across the country, we don't see it as the same sort of dire need, but we're looking at so many jobs going.
And pubs are crucial to our culture. And by the way, I think we should be clear here. The reason pubs are going to get this relief is because pubs are quite good at organising and campaigning. But other hospitality businesses, cafes,
restaurants,
small restaurants and stuff, are going to be having the same problems, but maybe don't have that same lobbying voice. But I think if you speak to people that own pubs, certainly, not big brewery chains, but like the independent ones, they don't want to run as charities. They can run as a business as long as the state does not create this environment where labour costs are so high, energy costs are so high, taxes are so high that it just becomes unprofitable.
They don't want to, exactly, no one's looking for a handout. It's not a subsidy. It's like, you can only tax, the business rate is a tax, all the VAT, all the cost most of the cost of a pint of beer or a glass of wine is tax in this country. I think we're all amazed when we go to Europe and you go, how much for a glass of wine or a pint of beer? Like, what? These are choices that the government makes, and it has a big impact. Let's hope that none of these publicans who are looking at possibly going under are suffering from rejection sensitivity, shall we? Because this is an extraordinary story. There's this woman, Sophie Stone, a neurodivergent events freelancer, apparently. She's been awarded £12,000 at a tribunal after complaining that her boss told her to stop thinking outside the box. Get back in your box. Apparently, she'd asked... She was invited. She works from home most of the time. You have to turn up once a month. There was a work summer party, and she asked if there would be a breakout area at the work summer party in case she got overwhelmed. already at this point, I've lost the will to live. And apparently the comments saying, well, stop thinking outside the box. There was something about she and a mate were going to be able to sit in someone's car if they were overwhelmed. I mean, for the love of God. But apparently it's violated her human right to respect because she was being instructed to act neurotypical and not to rock the boat. She's won 12 grand basically for disability, harassment and victimisation. I mean, we don't stand a chance as an economy, do we? We don't stand a chance, Michael.
No, absolutely. I mean, this is just unbelievable nonsense. Like, I mean, rejection sensitivity. I think I have that. Isn't that, nobody, that's just part of the human condition. It shouldn't stop you doing your job. And all I can say is, thank goodness that the day one right to sue your employer was removed from the workers' rights bill, or the employment rights bill that's coming through, because otherwise we'd be seeing, people doing this literally in the first week, within the first hour of their job. They would have been able to sue their employer for comments like this. And as you say,
many employers, they pay up. Yeah, I know people who they've been accused of various things. They go, everyone knows it costs you, £5 grand payout or whatever it is, and it will save you 10 grand in legal fees. And I know a number of the small employers have gone, I don't care.
Yeah, and
I'm going to fight it on principle.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the real sad thing about this story is there will be plenty of people that do have autism or mental health conditions who actually do just want to go to work and do a good job. But people like this who take these spurious cases will just make employers think, they'll never admit this because it'd be illegal, but they'll think, I'm not going to take a chance.
Of course they're not. They're not insane. I mean, that's the thing. It's just, but this is the crazy thing. If you don't, if you're going to struggle with going to the Christmas party or the summer party, don't go to the summer party, and no one's going to force you to go to the summer party.
Yeah,
if that's it, I mean, I'm sorry, but again, it's just like, apparently because of her neurodivergent thinking, which affects her ability to process information, apparently she takes 4 hours to do a job that would take a colleague 2 hours. Well, I mean, again, so what? I mean, would we have that on this show? Like, okay, well, 2 hours before the show, you're not going to have anything ready until midday. What? And I'm supposed to go, oh, well, that's fine. We'll just hold off the show. Everyone will just wait. So I'll just wait another hour. I mean, I'm sorry, employers are allowed to say, I need someone who can do the job. It's mind-blowing. I think, frankly, with all due respect, they're probably well rid of her. But there you are, Sophie. We have just got to stop this namby-pambying ridiculous. This is not about helping someone with a disability. This is literally national economic suicide. Anyway, I'm going to reject you now. Don't get too ever sensitive about it. Michael Simmons, economics editor at The Spectator. I'd love to get Tom's thoughts on that.